Welcome to the Heart of Bastrop Talk Show. I'm TJ Finn with the Heart of Texas Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Connie Schrader, Mayor of the City of Bastrop. We're looking a little different today, TJ.
We are. You know what? It's Halloween episode.
And that means it's time for Call For Beaty. Our friend Melissa Hayes, she's been taking care of us all through this season. And look what she did to us today.
Absolutely. So today, Melissa has some amazing makeup in store for you guys. She's going to show you how you can do your own makeup at home, what products to purchase, and this is going to be a whole lot of fun.
I can't wait for the Halloween show.
Absolutely. Let's get to it.
Hi, I am Melissa Hayes from Call For Beaty, and today I am with the Heart of Bastrop Talk Show, and we are going to do a few Halloween looks today. So before we get started, I'm here today with my lovely model Kira, and Kira wants to be a catacorn. And so if you don't know what that is, if you're not a Taylor Swift fan, it is part cat and part unicorn. And so she is going to be a catacorn. And I just wanted to show you a few of the things that we'll be using today. So one of the items we'll be using is from CC Beauty, and you can get this on Amazon. It is a professional face and body paint set. One thing that I really like about it is that you can order it and it'll come with a pack of artist brushes so that you moms don't destroy your makeup brushes trying to do Halloween makeup. And another thing that we are using today are these stencils that are also from Amazon. And it just so happens that the characters that the kids decided that they wanted to be, there's a stencil for each one of them. So we'll be using these today as well. And let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that you would want to do is, if need be, prep the skin. So basically when you're using any kind of body paint, they're basically like a grease paint, like a theatrical paint. You want to make sure that the skin is not greasy or it'll just kind of slip around too much. And her skin is perfectly clean, so we don't need to do anything. So basically the first thing that we're going to do is start with some fun colors. And we're going to pick out what stencil we want to use. And I know there's one that has a unicorn on it. So I think we will start with this stencil. And when you're using a stencil like this, it has little dots and then, big lines. So you basically want to use a small brush for small areas or details, and then a bigger brush for bigger areas. And the colors that would look best for her look would be something nice and bright. So we're going to use some bright neon colors. Right. And then can you turn your chin a little towards me? Thank you. So for this, I am going to start with just doing the unicorn. We just kind of want to get it a little centered. And with these stencils, one thing I thought about is you could use double-sided tape to actually tape the stencil to the skin. And I feel like that would help you be able to apply it a little easier. And so we're just going to go in with, as you can see, some bright neon yellow. And you don't need to do a very thick layer, but we're just going to go in with a few little areas. To know that you're sensitive, I would recommend testing it. And a good place to do that is like the inside of your arm. If you're sensitive, you can always use a little bit and test it. And then, do you have a favorite color, Kira?
Pink.
Pink? Okay. We'll make sure we'll do a lot of pink. How's that sound?
Great.
And the stencils are something I found on Amazon, but they can be used for Halloween, birthday parties. There's a lot of different things that you can do with them. And the brushes are pretty easy to wash. You can just do some dish detergent. I'm gonna get your unicorn a pink unicorn horn. And you can mix the colors. They do mix together really well. So you can do, I think I did the yellow and the pink together to create just a different color of orange. And if you weren't doing a stencil, you could just easily, you could use these to kind of do anything that you want. You could do polka dots. I know one character a lot of people like to do is a comic book character. So that's something that you could do, like dots on the face if it's a like pop art comic character. You do little like white dots on the face. Lots of options. Oh, I know something else that people might be wondering is how easy does this come off? So you can take this off easily with a makeup remover, or even olive oil would work.
How long do you think it'll last on the face?
So it depends on what you set it with, meaning when you finish, you don't want to just finish painting and take the kids out, because it would smear. So to get it to last without smearing, we're gonna set with a colorless powder and also potentially some setting spray, and that'll make it last all night. You don't have to be absolutely perfect. You can kind of go over the stencil. And then we have one little tiny here that we missed. I think it needs to be blue. So we'll go back and use the blue.
How much does this cost on Amazon?
I believe for the kit that came with the brushes, it was around $20. But for the amount of product you get, it would last you through definitely like a whole year of birthdays and, you know, holidays, playtime.
I think you lost your.
Okay, so we're gonna let the unicorn sit for a minute. So the next part for her that I wanted to do is a cat nose. Her and Mom did a good job of putting her costume together. So she's got cat ears, the unicorn horn, and then you want to show them your paws, little cat paws, and a cat tail. So she's got a perfect little unicorn, catacorn outfit going on. The other thing I want to do though is the nose. And so I will use this cute little stencil to do that. And we're going to use black. And before I do that, I am going to go ahead and set her because I see potential smearing going on. We don't want that. So you can either use a puff, and these puffs are also available on Amazon. These are great because they're washable, so you can reuse them instead of having to just throw them away. So I do like these a lot. The powder I'm using is actually a professional powder. It is from RCMA, which I can't remember specifically what they are, but it's basically a council of makeup artists. It's a company that's been around before HD. I mean, they've been around since like, I want to say the 40s. I could be wrong though. But this powder is available also on Amazon. You can get it in different sizes, but again, it's from RCMA. The one that I recommend is their no color, and it comes in kind of a similar bottle to this. I think it's got a black cap. But what you do is you want to kind of pack it on at first, and then if you put on way too much, you would just kind of brush away the excess. But since they're translucent, this I would say is usable on all depths of skin tone, like basically any color that you're applying to the face as well. As you can see, it's not diluting the black or the brightest colors. Everything's staying really well. All right, so the unicorn, just a little extra just in case. But the unicorn should be safe because now we're going to go in with this next stencil. Another option, if you felt like you're worried maybe your nose gets very oily, another option for anything that you need to last all night would be using a pot of a waterproof eyeliner. And this one comes from, I believe it's L'Oreal, Infallible. This is their Blackest Black. You can pick this up basically at any drugstore or again on Amazon. So, can I have you turn a little bit towards me, sweetie? Thank you. And then chin up. All right. And so for this part, and not everyone needs a stencil, but I just find that they can be helpful in some situations. You could probably even, if you only felt like you needed part of the stencil, you could maybe even cut out, if you just need the cat nose, just cut it out. And then let me go back in and just hit any little areas that we missed. I'm gonna make sure that you have a very cat nose. And then with this look, you could go in if you wanted to and add whiskers. You can get creative. All right. And then again, you could go back in with the black if you wanted to do little whiskers and do little cat whiskers. Okay. And then for something like this, a very thin brush is going to give you the nice skinny whiskers. And if you have to do this on multiple kids, I do recommend maybe using a butter knife or something to dip out the color. That way you're not having to double dip and spread germs. You're looking like a beautiful little catacorn. All right, I'm gonna come over on the other side. And if you happen to make a mistake, if you make your brush stroke like a little too thick, all you gotta do is go on the other side and match it, or use a Q-tip, maybe with a little bit of an eye makeup remover, and you can make your lines really nice and fine. I think it looks cute. I'm gonna match this side up just a little bit. And then we decided that we think that our catacorn would look good with a little bit of glitter. You touch up your nose just a little bit. You have been amazing. How old are you?
6.
You're 6? You are like the most best behaved 6-year-old I think I've ever met.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we're gonna go in first and we're gonna set her cheeks. And then we're gonna also go in and set her nose. And just wipe away any excess. One thing I also would mention is if you are doing a color and you feel like it should be bolder, what I would recommend is do a layer of setting, and then you can go back in and you can put more color on top of it, just kind of pat it on. And then the last thing that we decided that our catacorn needs is going to be just a little bit of glitter. And this glitter, I have seen it throughout the year sold places like the Dollar Tree or Family Dollar Store. I purchased this, I had to actually purchase this at a Halloween store in Austin. But it's just a fun little multiple colored glitter set. And so for her favorite color is pink. So we're gonna go in with a little bit of pink, and our unicorn actually has a pink horn, so we're gonna put some glitter on top of the unicorn's horn, and then we'll just add a little bit of glitter around her. And this glitter is it's made for skin. Definitely would not recommend using like a craft glitter. And it does have a little bit of a sticky base to it so that you can get it to adhere to the skin how you want it. You want to see? Would you like to see how you look?
Yeah.
All right. Here you go.
I look great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Coming up with unique ideas for costumes is always fun, right, Mayor? That's the fun part of the holiday, right?
Now, I talked to you not that long ago and you said you weren't sure what you were going to do. How did you put all this together?
Well, let me show you. So guys, I'm outside of Goodwill. I'm gonna go in here. We're gonna find out what kind of costumes they have. Oh look! We're gonna find out what kind of cool Halloween costumes they have for you. Wow, scream mask. Who knows what I might find here in Goodwill for my Halloween. There's so much cool stuff for you guys in here. It's one of the places that you need to check out in Bastrop if you're looking for a costume. Check it out, guys. They have lots of cool Halloween stuff. Ooh, how about this guy? Ooh, he doesn't look very happy. Check it out, check it out. I think I'm gonna need this for everyday wear. What do you think? came out with this really cool dress. I love it. Yes. Of course, you have to have a pair of shoes to go with your costume. Some gloves. Some really cool pantyhose. My veil. And wait for it. There we go. A complete costume. Way to go, Goodwill. Here we go, all of our goodies. Now let's go back to the studio and see what Mel can do with this.
So our next look today is going to be Big Sister Serenity. She's going to be a punky witch. And so Serenity, what was the inspiration for the characters that you and your sister are doing?
So I have a shirt back at home. There's a witch on it, which I'm dressed up as right now. It doesn't look exactly like it, but it looks almost identical. And
Cute.
my little sister, which was the last model, was the catacorn, my pet. Yeah.
She's the witch's pet, or what it's called, a familiar too, right?
Yeah.
Super, super cute idea. I just thought that it was really unique. You know, kids are so creative, and they can get inspiration for a costume from anything. Like, it's pretty amazing. They had a shirt that they liked, and they were like, that's what we want to be. So for her, the punky witch, they sent me a picture of the witch. And one thing that I did notice is she did have some fun again, some bright colors. So we got this cute little just clip-in extension that's not quite as long and beautiful as your natural hair, but it has some of the fun colors in it. But you can find something like this probably for just a couple dollars here, probably at Ulta, or again online on Amazon. And then these cute little jewels in her hair are something else that you can get on Amazon, which is something fun to add color to the costume. So for her, we're going to do some bright colors. We're not going to use any stencils. And to begin with, I'm going to have you close your eyes.
Okay.
And we're going to first do some eyeshadow primer, and this is just something that's going to help any eyeshadow powders that you use be more vibrant, and also help them to stay on a little bit longer. So just put on the primer, and this one is a white, so it definitely is good for any brighter colors that you're doing. It makes them stand out more. Do you wear makeup?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Just, do you wear it for, like, more so for playing, or?
Well, we do make some, like, plays, I think that's what you call them.
Yeah.
So there was this one time, me and my siblings made a play, and I wore makeup then.
Nice.
And then a couple months ago, can't remember why, but I wore some makeup at an event.
Fun. Maybe, was it like to see your big sister play music or something?
Yeah, I did put on a bit of like chapstick, and then I did like secretly put on a little blush, I guess. Yeah, my skin wasn't looking too great.
You're gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have you close your eyes. So this palette is something out of my stash. It is a little bit more pricey, but you can find bright colored palettes anywhere. Again, the Dollar Tree is such a great place to look. You can buy, I know they carry a lot of like LA looks, but you'll find all sorts of brands there. If you have any kind of an eyeshadow primer or a light concealer on the eye, it doesn't matter how expensive or your eyeshadow is, as long as you find those bright colors that you're looking for, it'll work. So this is my Urban Decay Electric palette, and it's been used so much it's really hard to read the colors. But we're going to use, this color is called Thrash, and it's kind of like a yellow green, a very, very neon color. But I am using a disposable to apply it, but you can use like a smaller flat makeup brush would be good. And we're just wanting to make the witch look a little punky. She's not really a scary witch. We'll have one of those a little bit later. But yeah, she's just more of a fun punky witch who has a pet cat, catacorn. And there's also costumes if you're someone who doesn't like to wear makeup or want to, you can do something like what I did. So in case you don't know, I am Dustin from Stranger Things. And if you don't know who that is, first off, you need to watch the show. But he had a curly mullet. And so I put curlers in my hair and just kind of pinned it back. This was the hat he wore, and I went to Old Navy and found this t-shirt for, I want to say it was maybe $8 at the most. But yeah, everyone can dress up. You don't have to be someone who wears a lot of makeup, or if you are doing a look that's like what I'm doing, I would say to do a look like this. I basically just made my skin look a little more clear, put some foundation and concealer on, and a little maybe a brown mascara if you're wanting to look natural instead of a black would be a good idea. But I absolutely adore your freckles.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys all have a little bit of freckles.
Yeah.
And if you have not heard their sister, she is amazing. And I believe is it Winter Dawn on her social media?
Winter Dawn's music.
Yeah, Winter Dawn's music. You'll have to check her out. She plays a lot here in the Bastrop area, Bastrop County. All right, so that's nice and fun, and it doesn't have to be like super perfectly angled, just something nice and bright. And then we should probably also go ahead and add in a little purple, because I think our witch has some purple colors. Do maybe like a little hot pink.
It's actually one of my favorite colors.
Nice. And not all witches have to wear black. I don't think they were told they have to wear black. They just, for some reason, some of them like to wear black. And we'll just go ahead and throw in a little purple. And then this palette has a fun little glitter that it comes with. It's not super glittery. It's just a little sparkle. So we'll go ahead and use a little of that. Maybe kind of towards the center. And then depending on how much makeup you wanted to wear, you could do something fun with your eyebrows. Definitely could do mascara if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could do a darker lip. Something like this is a NYX Liquid Suede. And it's kind of a really deep, almost like just really deep purple color. But that's kind of got that witchy vibe to it. Or you could do, if you're a punky witch, you may want to go for something that's a little lighter. So this is Makeup by Mario's Lip Palette. And one of my favorite colors in here is this pink. It's just a really nice bright pink. And it just looks great, especially with her little purpley pink hair. That looks really good. And I would say we honestly could stop there, or we could do you like glitter?
Yeah.
Okay, we could do a little glitter. We could go back in again with the art, the CC Beauty face paint, and do maybe some polka dots, something like that. But I think with your look, since we've got kind of a green color and purple and pink, I think it'd be fun to do, and we have some yellow too. We can kind of match that. Now with these, I wouldn't necessarily recommend using on top of the eye. There are some brands that make glitters to go on top of the eye, but anything that has like a little bit of chunkiness, I would be careful. I've seen glitter lashes, and that's just one thing I would never put on anyone. I would be terrified that someone would scratch their eyeball with them. And then I'm going to use a spatula and get out a little bit of pink and a little bit of blue. And we'll go back in with the pink. And one thing I have noticed with this is you kind of have to quickly apply the glitter, or it just really melts with the warmth of your skin, and you'll end up with big chunks of it. It's just kind of a fun little bit of a cute, creative look. Awesome. And then we have a hat, right?
Yeah.
Let's put your hat on. Does that seem right? And then I'll get the mirror so you can tell me how you look. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. That is gorgeous. Yes.
You look so cute. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we are done here?
We are done.
So that's what I was afraid of.
You know, Mayor, I asked myself, what is there to do in Bastrop County on the night of Halloween?
Well, and every city's got their own little sweet things, and
They
we know
absolutely
each neighborhood, they have special traditions too.
They do. Well, take a look at what I found.
You know, TJ, whenever we talk about Halloween, we have to talk about safety.
Absolutely.
We want to keep all those kiddos safe. And that means with the little ones, you got to keep a hold of them.
Yeah.
Don't let them run around in the street. And you know what my mom always said, if the light's not on, just go to the next house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then checking their candy. You have to check that candy.
Pay attention to that candy. And if it's broke open and it's loose, you don't need that. There's plenty of other things to do.
Absolutely.
So this is my lovely model, Jerrica, and we have not known each other extremely long, but we've been doing this for a minute. Yeah, so she played the Wicked Witch on Oz the Musical at the Bastrop Opera House, and so we did her as the witch quite often. And she's just a great person, great to be around.
You're so sweet.
So when it comes to the witch, so we had our punky witch earlier, and we have her as her character actually in Oz was kind of a sexy witch. So you could do her lips. We did a beautiful red that is something you can get from Just Jill Cosmetics. She's local to the Austin area, but this stuff absolutely does not come off, stays on, and great colors. But we use that. But if you wanted to do the witch, you could also do kind of the more evil witch, and maybe use the darker color that TJ had on earlier, the like deep purple or even a black. So there's lots of options to this. So I'm going to start. First off, Jerrica did a great job on her eyeliner. For the sexy witch, we always did kind of a cat eye. And she said she usually has a hard time doing this. So why don't you explain to them what you did today that helped you get it right?
Right, like she said, I've never been able to get the wings perfect, but Mel gave me a great idea to just use a business card. And I lined it up where my cheekbones are and moved up to my eye, and it gave you the perfect spot, and I just drew the line straight down and it connected the dots basically.
So you basically, the most complimentary cat eye that you can get for your face shape will always be the direction that your cheekbone goes in. So if you have a high cheekbone or lower cheekbone, and then you can just go right at your lower lash line and hold it in that direction, and you'll get the perfect cat eye. Some people do tape. There's lots of options. But for kind of the witch's eye makeup, we do a black liner, and you can go pretty thick with it or thinner with it. And then we like to top it with black eyeshadow just to make it pop. So this is Dose of Colors. This is like a black glitter eyeshadow. So you're getting sparkle and the black kind of all at once. And then we like to do our witch with green makeup. And so we like to we'll go on top with some green so that she looks, like naturally. She's got a green eyelid. But so we're gonna keep the eyes fairly simple, and I'm just gonna go up a little higher with the black because I think the funnest part about this makeup is transforming her into the Green Witch. So this is Block Party eyeshadow. The color is X-Ray from Dose of Colors. Those are great. And so after we do that, as I mentioned, we're going to go in and do some green. And also, since she is green, her highlight is going to be a lighter green. So we'll go in with this lovely kind of neon yellow green. That's the highlight for underneath the brow. And you can, there's no specific way to do this. You can go all under or just in one area. And then we'll go in with a darker green right underneath that. And
That looks amazing.
thank you. And so for brushes, a lot of people like to use brushes that are vegan. So I would recommend you can get brushes online from Crown. And there's also a great company called Omnia that does a lot of brushes. And if you're an aspiring artist, they're always having contests and lots of stuff going on where you can win brushes and get free education. So after you do your eyes, a lot of times there will be a little bit of what we call fallout. And I usually go in with makeup remover and just try to wipe it away. You can see the lovely black smears. And then it basically is not going to be seen in our, once we are applying our greens to the complexion. But you can do that, and then I'll have you open your eyes. And one thing that you can also do is use a smaller little brush, or I also like to use these brushes that have a sponge. But it's good to be able to kind of press color on, especially the ones that have the glitter in them. You want something flat, something small for a small area. And then you can also kind of go in underneath and give her that lovely, like, smoked out look. That's always appropriate for Halloween and for a witch. And I swear before we're done, I'm gonna get her to cackle for you guys. She's like, I thought it was over.
I retired.
Okay, so we're gonna move along with the witch to give her really nice, strong eyebrows. You can, I would say at this point, you would want to go in and maybe use a black eyeliner. And so I'm going to use a spatula again because I use these products on multiple people. Got to keep everything sanitary. Clean spatula, pull out some eyeliner. And these spatulas are great because then they have like a flat little, basically like a little palette. And you can use a nice thin eyebrow brush or an eyeliner brush, whichever you prefer. But this is something that I would do at this point if you're going to go in with the green makeup, because once you get that green on the complexion, it's really something that you don't want to touch too much, or it does kind of transfer. And as far as this goes, you can get as crazy or as simple as you want to. You can just follow the shape of the natural brow or give it like the diva look, give her that like really sexy arch. But we just want the eyebrows to stand out and to be nice and dark. So tell us a little about yourself, Jerrica.
Well, I am an actress. I've been on stage for, most of my life. I started when I was a little girl, yes. And I fell in love with theater, and I haven't stopped since. After I graduated from high school, I moved to Hollywood, California, and attended the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, or ADA as they call it.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a 2-year program, and I learned so much from them, and I'm just now able to get back in the field and start applying the things that I've learned.
And so your family is here, correct, in Bastrop?
They are, yes.
Nice. And then Bastrop, if I remember, Bastrop was your return to the stage, right? Your first performance?
Yes, it's been about 3 years since I've been on stage, and Bastrop Opera House has given me the opportunity to jump back in and spread my wings a little bit, and it's been the most amazing experience so far.
Well, I know you were just great in Oz, and it was, I will say that this look definitely, if if you have little kids, it may not fly with them. She had so many little kids that they weren't really sure if they wanted to speak to her or not.
I know, I did feel a little bad. I did feel a little bad, but they were all very sweet after a while. Once I got talking to them, and I was like, I promise I'm nice.
So we have her eyes done, we have her eyebrows done. I usually do save the lips for last, but basically the next part is going to be the green. And so this can be tricky, finding like the correct shade of green. So a lot of us have pink or red undertones, and if you know your color wheel, you know that green and red are opposite colors, so they cancel each other out. So you really want to make sure and find the right shade of green so that when you put it on someone that has a red undertone in their skin, it doesn't just make them look tan or ashy, or you want it to really pop. So what we use, these are from Maron, and again, you can get Maron makeup on Amazon. It's called Paradise Makeup AQ, which I believe is for aqua. It can be used on the face, and we know it can be used on the body. And so what I would recommend is just figuring out, so for her skin tone, this green is actually a little too dark for her complexion. So we would go with this color, which is actually the light green. And especially this can be used if you want to mix them together. What I would do is the light green would be used more as like those main focus area, the highlight colors. And so we'll use the light green kind of through the center of the face, on top of the cheekbones. And then the dark green is called Amazon green. And I would use it as more of like the contoured, more shadowed areas, because it's actually a little too dark for her complexion. But it also works great on the body, and it can be seen from very, very far away, we learned. So the way that these work, and excuse me, I am going to grab a tissue. Okay, so for the next part, we're going to go ahead and start on the complexion with the green. And so this product, you actually will activate it with water, and we tried so many different ways to do this. We did find that if the skin has moisture on it, this actually will go on a little bit easier. So what we did is I used some setting spray. So this is, again, Maron. This is their barrier spray. And I'm going to go ahead and spray. So this just makes it glide on easier. And also if you have your, so we started with sponges. This was such a long process because we actually needed to make her whole body green. So we realized that this style of brush, it's nice and short and compact. It's basically like a foundation brush, or a kabuki brush are going to be your best friends for applying. Makes it just happen a lot easier. So we have used this exact color up so much that it's almost gone. I do recommend having a paper towel handy, because we've also had a few times where we went to apply and we had like too much water. So it's always, yeah, trial and error. There's always going to be surprises like that. All right. So you don't have a very long time before this starts to dry, so you have to work fast. I am able to get basically right up on her eyebrows with this brush, but for some people it might be easier to use a smaller brush to kind of do details. And you can go up as high as you want to, but at a certain point, as this starts to dry, what you'll notice is it's almost like you're wiping away. We don't want to wipe away, we're trying to add the color. So every once in a while, you're going to have to reactivate your green by spraying it with more water. And you may want to test on your palette or something just to kind of see how wet it is. And I'm gonna have you open. And this is the fun part. So I always recommend telling people to open and look up. That stretches out that delicate skin underneath the eye, and then hopefully also will help your person to not water quite as much, because you are very close to the eye and you never know when a random little tiny brush hair decides that it wants to go the wrong direction and be right in their vision. It's no fun. So we want to get basically everywhere as much as possible. And as I mentioned, as fast as possible. And just make sure that we don't really miss anything. And as you can see, I didn't quite get everywhere. I'm going to do one more spray and then we can move on. And you do want to be careful as soon as you go to cross over a previously done area, you will notice that you're getting lines. And if you're taking a bunch of pictures and stuff, you may not want that. You may want to have like just look like you are perfect in green. And this color would work great for multiple characters. I think, what were some of the characters we talked about you could be?
She-Hulk was definitely the most popular right now.
That's the new Marvel one, right?
Mm-hmm, the new Marvel show. Everyone thought I was She-Hulk when I was walking around town.
Yes, if you think you recognize her, she was walking around Bastrop like this. And for the theater performance, we definitely went all in. We got her ears. I feel like we basically, I'll just have to kind of step back. I feel like, yeah, that's pretty good. I see like one little area in here that I would want to make sure I get. So because this product it's an aqua color, you can't use it unless you're using it with water. If you just try to wipe this, nothing's going to come off of it. You have to spray it with water to activate it. And also, it dries to a powder. And so because of that, you can't really go over it with any more liquid products. One of kind of the rules of makeup is basically once you get to powder products, you stick with powder products. So what we would use to highlight her or contrast, make her maybe contour, create shadows, we would use powders. So what we've used is darker eyeshadow colors. Black is great. You can also use different shades of green. We also did some gold, and we liked the gold a lot. So I'm going to use a nice brush. We're just going to start with a little bit of a black. And a tip with brushes is just like with that foundation brush, the more compact a brush is, like meaning the more short your bristles are when it's like this, you're going to apply more color. It's going to be stronger, darker. Anything that's long has more movement, so you get less product. So with that being said, just be careful. Like with her, it's basically like drawing lines when you use this side. So if you want it to be like super pretty and glamorous and blended, then you don't want to use this side. And so yeah, you can just go in. We did blacks, greens, and then we did some golds that were really pretty as highlight colors. And then we'll go in with the side because we really want kind of a softer, like a softer, kind of natural looking shadow. I say natural looking. She's green.
It's my natural color.
We just don't want we want a softer black color instead of it being like more like a line. I mean for the theater, what's the rule?
I say the 30-foot rule.
30-foot rule. So that means if someone's not going to notice it from 30 feet away, it's not, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Which is, it's sometimes really hard.
Really hard.
So with her character, and when we did it for Oz, we did do her body. So we got super creative because we needed to figure out ways to really make things stay in place, basically. And we got pretty creative. Also, when you're on camera, you've got all these beautiful lights, so it's nice to do stuff like this. Like this is a good Halloween look, having the kind of gold. And then I just happen to own a beautiful shimmery green eyeshadow that we used quite often, and it's got some dark green and some gold. So we go kind of from light to dark or dark to light. So we've got like gold and then some green gold, and then we'll do a darker green, and then we'll have the black. You can also get creative if you want your witch to have like that little cute little bewitched nose. You can do like a little line of black underneath the nose. And then anything that you do like on the cheeks, you can also do here as well. Kind of as like highlighting and contouring. Let's do, what do we do? Dark green. But yeah, just have fun. Like you can use a lot of stuff that you own already. You don't have to go out and buy a ton of new stuff. Like I used an eyeshadow palette I already had to do the eyeshadow for Halloween. I know not everyone has a ton of stuff like I do, but or call someone like me. If you need me to do it, I will. Another thing we did that was fun is to create kind of a pretty brighter look underneath the eye. We did a little bit of that same kind of yellowy green, just to brighten up under the eye. And then on the body, I would recommend using the Amazon green, the darker green. And then you can have fun with it. Like the girls that we did earlier, they had freckles. So you can let their freckles stand out or add freckles. We've kind of taken away her freckles. But what we can do for her is she has a beauty mark. And so we can go back in with an eyeliner brush, add a little bit of black, and you can give her back her cute little beauty mark. And then at this point, I'm going to do a lip. So some people line after, some people line before. It doesn't really matter. I personally like to have a little green go down onto the lip because then it has that like green. She's a naturally green Cupid's bow, right? But my reason for using the lip liner at all is just kind of to give me a guideline so that when I do go in with the actual lip color, I know to try to stay inside the lines. And these lip liners are from NYX. Some people think it's NYX. They can be purchased at basically anywhere. I know Ulta carries them. They're not super expensive. They are waterproof and long wear. I do use them a lot for brides because they stay on so well. And with these, they're great. They're mostly great for underneath lipsticks or lip gloss because if you fill in the whole lip, it's just gonna stay on longer. That looks really pretty. Stretch your lip a little. And then I always try to take advantage of someone who has a beautiful lip line. Make sure I take advantage of that line. Get the lips as full as possible, depending on what kind of look you're going for. But hey, you guys, sexy pouty witch, right? That looks great. And so we would then do a couple things. On the show, we did glitter on top of the lip just for like a little extra sparkle. But yeah, I just go on this again. This color is called Scorpio. It's from Just Jill Cosmetics, and you can find her. You can Google her, but she has a shop that has some longwear makeup products. Love to support her. She's a good person. Very talented. This literally is the longest wearing lip stain. Like I've tried all of them. This thing stays on longer than Stila or my Too Faced or any of the professional ones I've tried. So yeah, you can leave it at that point, or as I said, you could go on and add a touch of glitter. So again, this is the same type of glitter that we used on the kids' looks. You just go in the bottom of the lip and spread it out. Okay, go and rub your lips. And you can stop there or go on with a darker green. We would do the same thing to get the neck. Another thing I just wanted to show you is you can get creative. This is a curl color washable hair gel that is gold and it has some reflective properties to it. And we actually used this to get her kind of a metallic green. So if you want metallic green hair or if you want to add a little bit to the skin, this stuff is amazing temporary color. Just looks really pretty. But let me get my mirror. Do you have a hat?
I do have a hat.
You put your hat on. I would say a good idea to use, again, a longwear setting spray. This is Maron's Barrier Fix. I'll have you close your eyes. 1, 2, 3. You could do false lashes if they needed. Jerrica has beautiful long lashes. So I would say we could add some mascara to her lashes. I am going to let you take a look.
Oh, it's lovely. As always.
All right, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed my makeup segment today. If you have any questions or inquiries about booking me for anything, I do weddings, I do hair and makeup for headshots. I have a suite here in Bastrop, and I also travel. If you would like to get in touch with me, you can reach me at 512-710-9512. I'm also on Instagram at Call For Beaty. And you also can email me at callforbeauty@gmail.com. But I do haircuts, colors, eyelash tinting, eyebrows, henna, everything. I also have a couple clients for facials. So if you have anything coming up, feel free to give me a call or get in touch with me, and I would be happy to help you.
What an amazing episode.
I love Halloween.
I love Halloween too. You know why I've always loved Halloween when I was a kid? Because I was born a minute before Halloween.
Of course you were.
Absolutely.
That explains a lot, TJ.
Wait, what? I love it. I love it. And so I tell you what, guys, if you're looking, whether you have events or whatever, whether it's Halloween or just you want to look amazing for your wedding,
Melissa can take care of you with wedding, red carpet, day-to-day nutrition of your face. She can take care of hair, skin. If you
She's
need
got it
anything
covered.
about beauty, you need to
Call For Beauty. And you can look her up on social media at Call For Beauty. I love it. So do not miss an episode of the Heart of Bastrop Talk Show because Melissa will always be here doing our makeup.
Yes, she will.
Go online at theheartofbastrop.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you next week.
Happy Halloween!